Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always is my fiancée, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is November 7th, 1998.
It is.
What do you think? What do you think about 1998?
It's almost over.
Feels like it just started, and now it's almost over.
Yeah. And then we're going to party like it's 1999.
Party like 1999. Prince. What a visionary. What a capitalistic genius.
Correct.
To write that song in 86 or 87, whenever that song came out. To know that years later. Do you like Prince? I'm not the biggest.
He's fine.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I like some of Prince songs and everything. I'm just not a huge fan.
Like Purple Rain, I like.
The song Purple Rain is cool. I don't like the movie. I don't know the self-indulgent
movie.
Passion project.
I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, it's not good. You don't need to see the movie. It features Morris Day and the Time, so that's cool. But
okay,
they sang the song Jungle Love, which is probably a phrase I shouldn't use.
That's an awful phrase.
But they do sing that song. Jungle Love, oh wee, yo. I think I want to know ya. Yeah, it's anyway. But
wow.
Yeah. So speaking of things we probably shouldn't talk about.
Uh-oh.
Tommy Lee Jones has been released from the hospital.
Why was he in the hospital?
Well, he left the hospital Saturday after going to the emergency room to check out injuries suffered when he was thrown from his horse.
Aw.
And trampled.
Oh my God.
During a polo match.
That's scary.
Quote, "I'm not hurt, a little sore," Jones said through his Los Angeles publicist. I wonder if I can do his voice. I'm gonna try.
He's like losing over here.
I'm gonna try. Let's see. When I think of a phrase, I can hear his voice in the like, "I don't care," you know. Yeah. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
Tommy Lee Jones was in that Aerosmith movie, right?
I'm not hurt. A little sore. I didn't know Aerosmith directed a movie. What are you talking about?
Direct a movie.
Aerosmith.
The movie with the Aerosmith song with Liv Tyler. Armageddon.
I don't want to close my eyes.
Armageddon.
No, he's not in that at all.
He's not? Then I have no idea who he is.
Bruce Willis is in that.
Well, I know Bruce. I don't think Bruce Willis is Tommy Lee Jones.
Who do you think Tommy Lee Jones is? Oh, you think Billy Bob Thornton is Tommy Lee Jones?
Yeah, that's who I was confused about, yes.
Oh my God, that's why we're together. Because I was able to figure that out. Tommy Lee Jones was Two-Face in that Batman movie we watched.
Yeah, they look a lot alike.
They look a little alike.
Ooh, I just got dizzy.
Oh, my God. Jennifer Allen Jones, 52, said his horse stumbled Friday during a speedy run. The actor was thrown over the horse's head, and the horse stepped on him.
Oh, my God.
That's such a rich person thing to do, to be playing polo.
Sure.
Trampled. That's the richest way to die. Trampled by a horse in a polo match.
Right?
Every bottom-toothed bastard out there's got to want that secretly. Well, to be trampled to death at a polo match. It's the dream.
Right. Sure, that wouldn't be horrifying and painful at all.
Oh my God.
It's better than being trampled in a movie theater when somebody else fire.
Sure. Elliot Gould knows why his professional life went bust.
Okay.
After his 1970s superstardom, I often talk to you about how Elliot Gould was like the biggest star in the world in the 70s. And you're like, that's Monica and Ross's dad. Like, yes, honey, yes, it is.
Yes.
That's
all he'll ever be to me.
I was so hot, I didn't realize that I had no judgment and no perspective, Gould says. That's conceited.
Interesting.
You're so hot, Gould. I can't do his voice. Monica, the fuck.
What is up with you today?
Monica.
That does not sound like him.
Deborah.
There you go.
Anyway, he said this in an issue of People magazine. I came out here so fast, and I didn't know how to back up. Gould, 60, an ex-husband of Barbra Streisand, was nominated for Best Supporting Actor Academy Award for Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice. He is best known for his role in the film MASH, but went on to appear in numerous dismal films. I'm in quite a bit of junk, Gould says. I can't tell you which was the most terrible, but there are so many, it wouldn't be fair to pick just one.
Wow.
So he sounds fun, though. Sounds like a fun guy.
Sounds like you would be a little ashamed to truly be a fan. I've seen so much junk.
I like Elliot Gould. He was good.
I like him as Monica and Ross's dad.
You ever see Bob and Ted and Carol and Alice or whatever the fuck it's called?
No.
Yeah, it's about wife
You
swapping.
talking about the Brady Bunch?
No, it's about wife swapping or something like that.
No.
Like having an orgy or something.
He was in that?
Yeah.
I don't want to see him in that.
He was young. He was a young man.
I don't care.
He was so lean.
Ew.
Such a lithe body.
I don't want to think about it.
Not smooth though. You know how like
Why are you talking about his body?
you know how the most attractive guys today are smooth boys.
No?
Very smooth.
Ken dolls? What is happening here?
No, I mean like they're hairless. They're just smooth. They look
The
like they
swim
could,
team.
They could just they look like they could just glide in water. That was not the 70s look. The 70s look was just hair everywhere.
Which is why you don't watch 70s porn.
Hair growing on your knuckles.
Or 70s orgy movies. Whatever.
It's about wife swapping or something like that, but it's not. I haven't actually seen it, but it's not. I'm sure it's not like super. It was probably scandalous for the time, but I don't think it'd be scandalous now.
I mean, we watched that one movie that one time for our Patreon.
We did watch that movie one time. For what?
For the Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
It was in the 70s.
That site that my buddy built,
Yeah.
Patreon. We haven't talked to you guys about that in a while, but my buddy still has that site out there. We're the only ones on it.
We are, and it's awesome. No, but Richard Gere was in it, and he was like a prostitute. Like, that was a pretty scandalous 70s movie.
Oh, American Gigolo.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think this is probably more scandalous?
Yeah, if you want to hear us talk about a fucking terrible movie from 1980, actually, technically 1980.
It just looked like the 70s, though.
It does. Well, it's, late 70s, early 80s. It has that aesthetic. It's like watching, not Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th.
Sure.
It's a 1980 movie, but that's very 70s.
I want to watch that movie, too.
Yeah, we will. But you know what else we can do?
What?
We can watch it on the internet, maybe. I don't know.
Okay,
Possibly.
how's that?
I don't know.
I mean, people can listen to our tapes on the internet, so...
Maybe we could possibly... God, it would take so long, though, wouldn't it?
To put a movie?
Yeah, try to get a whole movie on the internet.
Well, and
but you can save things on the internet now. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I download 2 songs. I queue up 2 songs to download before I leave for work, and then they're there when I get home. That was all that could happen.
And if the FBI is listening, we don't illegally download songs.
I pay for that. I pay for that 100%.
Absolutely. There's no mechanism to pay for it right now, but
Shh. We pay for it.
Anyway, Save It Online. New storage services insure you against calamitous data loss. Backing up your critical computer data is like flossing. You know you should, but you don't.
It's true.
A few software companies are using the internet to make computer backups practical, painless, and less costly.
Oh, hell no. That sounds like a nightmare.
What?
I mean, to have your important shit just on the internet. I like having the disc because it's tangible and, I have it. I can see it. You don't just put your important papers in the internet. What if it just goes away? You have nothing.
That's a good point. That's... I hadn't really thought about it since I'm just reading this article now, but that is frightening. Well, it says so. Let's see if they have any allaying of your fears here.
I hope so.
Online off-premises storage services can take the sting out of hard disk damage caused by static, natural disasters, and virulent viruses. What is the cold? I know they're talking about computer viruses, but they also make sense in light of burgeoning PC thefts and modern operating system glitches. Quote, Windows 95 now makes it possible to destroy several files at once, says Gary Sun. That's a feature. Chief Executive Officer of @Backup. What does that mean?
I want to know about this rash of computer thefts.
Pronounced @Backup, the company is one of 3 online services being marketed to small businesses and users, home users. With the general degradation of software, online backups are starting to look less scary and more like a refuge. So the 3 are at backup SafetyNet, SAF-T-net, and Intel's Answer Express support suite. So, interesting.
I mean,
I don't get it though, because they're like, oh, stacks of floppy disks or whatever. You know how much shit you can put on one floppy disk?
yeah. I mean, I like having the floppy disk, but I mean, I guess you could have both. It could be like a backup to your backup.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, okay, so, yeah, as like an extra redundancy, I guess I could see that.
But why are people's computers getting stolen all the time? Like, what is that about? That doesn't sound... I am not aware of this.
Yeah, that I don't know about. I guess there's a rash of computer thefts.
I don't think so. I think they're making it up to sell their stuff.
Ooh. That's definitely possible. You know what I'm not making up, though, Carol?
What?
Sorry, done with that story now. I'm not making up that... Elmore Leonard is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He's gotten recognition and money for quite a while. Hollywood's been turning Elmore Leonard's ideas into films for 40 years. Everything from 1950s westerns to 1990s crime stories. This week he'll be toasted for all of them. People who think Elmore Dutch Leonard, that's his nickname is Dutch for some reason, his career in the movies began with Get Shorty. Remember we watched Get Shorty? Mm-hmm. He wrote that. Are in for a surprise when the Detroit area's premier novelist gets toasted Thursday at the Detroit Opera House. Well, if they're coming there to see him, I bet they won't be surprised.
Right.
I made about a dozen or so of these for Encyclopedia Britannica at about $1,000 a script in the 1960s, Elmore, or Leonard 73 said from his Bloomfield Village home. Frontier Boy, The French, an Indian War, Settlement of the Mississippi Valley. He says they don't think they were very good. But yeah, he started out writing westerns, and then, he's written, like the Get Shorty and crime novels and stuff. I like a lot of his books.
I know you do, baby.
He's one of my favorites.
Because I listen when you talk.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the only reason I know who he is, but...
You know what else you listen to? Alanis Morissette.
I do. I love Alanis Morissette.
Well, she's going to settle a few misunderstandings, all right?
Okay.
Yes, Alanis Morissette is angry. She is also, she wants you to know, in love. Out of love. Elated. Disappointed. Insecure. And supremely confident.
Wow, that's a lot.
Whatever the mood, and there are plenty of them, on supposed former infatuation junkie, which is her new album, which gets 3 out of 4 stars according to them. The year's most closely watched album, Morissette doesn't want to leave room for misinterpretation. With a conversational frankness that often borders on prosaic, her detailed navel gazing...
What?
Her detailed
the fuck?
navel gazing won't leave much room for head scratching.
Okay, her detailed navel gaze. Are they talking about, like, belly buttons or ships?
I think they must be talking about belly buttons, right?
That's fucked up. What a weird turn of phrase.
Thanks to one bitter love song, the Hell Hath No Fury blast of 1995's You Oughta Know, which...
It is a good song.
We do know. Is that the one that's supposedly about Dave Coulier? That dated her when she was like 16 and he was like 25.
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to look at the lyrics now.
Yeah. Think about that go down on you to the theater thing. Morissette was misguidedly pegged as a generation's irate young spokeswoman. But as 13.1 million record buyers know, Jagged Little Pill, one of the biggest U.S. debut albums
Best
of all
album
time, was much more than that. A soup of hopeful romance and wry scrutiny of life's overlooked corners. So she wants you to know that she's more than just an angry songwriter.
Okay.
I mean, we know that for sure, but...
Can we look at the lyrics? I pulled my little thing out of her CD with
the liner
yes.
notes? Yeah, go ahead.
So I want you
ought to know.
Yeah. I want you to know that I'm happy for you.
Uh-huh.
I wish nothing but the best for you.
Sure.
An older version of me Oh, that, yeah. Is she perverted like me?
Holy shit!
Would she go down on you in a theater?
At 16 years old, David Coulier, cut it out.
Does she speak eloquently? And would she have your baby? I'm sure she'd make a really excellent mother. Because the love that you gave that we made wasn't able to make it enough for you to be open wide. No. And every time you speak her name, does she know how you told me you'd hold me until you die? But you're still alive. Yeah. Yeah, she's angry.
So, in that song, she is.
There's a lot more, but I'm not going to read the whole thing.
Dave Coulier says that he heard the song on the radio and he was like, oh, fuck, I really hurt this woman or whatever.
Duh.
And it's like, but here's the thing. Like I said, age difference. I don't know the exact age difference, but I'm pretty sure she was young. And he was not.
Okay.
I mean, 24 or whatever is still young, but...
He was too old for her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she was on, you can't do that on television. I don't know. Oh my God, I just got slimed.
Nickelodeon?
Yes.
She was on some Nickelodeon show while she was giving a head in a theater?
Jesus Christ. That wasn't one of the skits they did.
Well, I would hope not.
But I can't remember how old she was when she was on it, but yeah. I mean, yes, she was on that show.
Okay. Interesting.
You ought to know that.
I guess. Except
Anyway.
I didn't have cable, so I didn't really watch that show.
Do you know what I want to know, Carol?
What, dear?
What dreams may come.
Oh, God, this movie.
I want to know what dreams may come in your dreams after this movie.
Okay, I think you were trying to go dirty, but you can't go dirty with this movie.
Oh, no, I wasn't trying to go dirty.
Okay.
I was trying to go introspective.
So this is another movie that made me dehydrated from the amount of crying.
Yeah.
Like,
not like the 70s porn dehydrated.
No. God. Like, we talked about recording when we got home from the theater, but I couldn't muster the strength. I was just emotionally wrung out.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is beautiful and interesting. But it's hard. It's a hard watch. It's hard to go through. I wouldn't watch it more than once ever.
So...
Like, you'd have to pay me to watch this movie a second time.
So... This one's hard for me.
Okay.
This is a difficult movie for me to talk about, and a difficult movie for me to review, I think.
Why?
The movie's gorgeous.
Yes. Very surreal.
The cinematography is excellent. And yes, it has a dream-like quality, which the cinematography works really well in that and everything. And it's like the parts that are in real, they're in life, in the life that we all lead before the deaths that happen in this movie, are shot conventionally. There's a contrast between those and the other realm of existence, which works really well.
Yeah.
And it's like a fairyland or something like that. I really loved what they did with the color palette of this film and with the lighting of this film. So it's gorgeous. I think the direction is good in the film. The performances are top notch. There is something about Robin Williams that he's such a, like, I don't know, he has such a presence on screen. He's so larger than life and so almost grounded that he works so well in fantasy worlds like this. I think about Jumanji and stuff like that too. Like, it's same kind of thing where that's like a different kind of fantasy world. He works really well in these, or like Hook.
Yeah.
I thought of Hook a few times when we were watching this movie. He works really well in fantastical situations.
Sure.
His presence there both grounds you to reality and also makes what's going on so believable at the same time.
Yes, I agree.
This film has a ton of emotional weight to it. And yet, there's something, and I think part of it might be the ending, and we'll get to it. But there's just something missing from it, and I don't know what. I did not have the fully satisfied feeling at the end of this film. It's a good movie. I'll get the recommendation out of the way early. I think you should see it.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have to see it in the big screen unless you want to see Robin Williams' face blown up in all the close-ups from the...
I disagree. I think it's worth seeing on the big screen because of all the beautiful art and scenery and like the dreamlike stuff.
So I recommend it, but it's not a home run. It's not a perfect movie. I have some problems with it. There are one or two that I can point out, mostly script-wise, I guess, because the other technical aspects of it, there's maybe a couple editing decisions I would have made differently, but on the technical aspects of things, I can't really fault it. So I think it comes down to a couple script things, but I just didn't get all I wanted to get out of it.
What else did you want to get out of it?
I wanted that feeling, and maybe part of it is, I guess we can talk about the end. I mean, obviously, there's going to be spoilers abound for this movie. I guess let's start kind of at the beginning.
Before we talk about the ending,
let's set things up.
I think that's a good idea.
I'll get to it when we talk about the ending. But essentially, the movie is a tragedy.
Yes,
it's based upon a novel by Richard Matheson.
Okay,
a novel I haven't really read.
I kind of want to read it,
but I know the ending is similar, but slightly different in the book, which we'll get to. But for the most part, I think it stays pretty close to the source material. But anyway, so Robin Williams is a doctor, pediatrician. I'm not sure if he is at the beginning of the movie, but he meets this beautiful woman while they're on a lake in Switzerland.
Yeah, this is weird. And, this is why I kind of disagree. This takes place in real life, and you said that most of the real life stuff seems, real.
This seems fantasy-like, too.
It does. Yeah, whenever they meet in the beginning and later, it seems very fantastical and not grounded in reality.
That's true. I think their specific scenes together do seem like that.
But
where it's like, and maybe that's part of the theme of the movie, but...
Yeah, well, I think they're supposed to be that because there's supposed to be this super special, rare thing of soulmates that, you know. So there's magic there when they're together.
I will say, so reincarnation plays a part in this, too.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I'll just get the book thing out of the way that I know anyway. In the book, it is said that they've actually been reincarnated many times on Earth, and they always find each other. Because, soulmates are supposed to do that, I guess, or whatever.
My issue with the fact that in this movie they chose to go back, though...
Okay, but we're talking about the end now.
All right.
Because I have an issue with it, too.
All right.
And I want to get to it. I want to talk about it. But let's set up the stuff first. So, he's like a doctor. He meets this woman at this lake in Switzerland. They get married. They have a couple kids. Their couple kids die in a horrific car accident. That's kind of glossed over at the beginning. This movie is sort of like, it goes in kind of a linear fashion, and then it goes back.
Yeah, there's a lot of flashbacks.
There's a lot of backtracking back and forth. At first I was thinking, oh, we're really fucking breezing through some shit that we should not be breezing through. And then later it goes back, and I'm like, okay, I kind of see what the movie's doing here. She's upset, obviously. I mean, they're both upset, but she's a curator, I guess, for a museum. She does art on her own. She also curates pieces for a museum. So she works in the art world. Then he is going to help her out she needs a bunch of pieces or whatever for something. He's going to help her out, and so he's driving someplace where there's an accident. He gets out to try to help somebody because he is a doctor. And
it's like a requirement, I think, for a doctor to go help when there's an accident.
And then he gets hit by a car and killed.
Yeah.
And then he meets Cuba Gooding Jr., who's also very good in this movie. Cuba Gooding Jr. and Robin Williams, I think, work really well together and off of each other. And I think they should do more movies together.
They had good chemistry, for sure.
100%. So anyway, so he dies. And the mother becomes so upset
Yeah, I can imagine.
that she kills herself.
I mean, she already lost her babies, and we found out had a nervous breakdown after she lost her babies. Spent God knows how long in the hospital. It seemed like it was a very long time she was in there.
And probably tried to kill herself after their death, or maybe before.
Yeah, because she has this big scar on her wrist. And my issue with this is I think the movie's trying to say she did this after her kids died and then she went to the hospital.
That's what I
Unless she
think,
was in the
too.
hospital for like a year or 10, her scar would not look that healed.
And see, I wonder. So I think that's the implication, because we see they don't make a big deal out of it, but you see it in two different occasions, and you see it when she's going to commit suicide the second time that actually succeeds, and you see it when she's in that later when she's in the hospital talking to Robin Williams, and I think the implication is she attempted suicide after her kids died. And then she went to this mental hospital and eventually got better. And then he died and she just, lost all of her hope. But I agree with you on the way the scar looks. I don't know if that's supposed to be indicative that she has had past mental problems before any of this, or if it's just a mistake on the makeup department. I don't know.
It could definitely have been that she had issues before, though. Like,
I agree, though. I think it should have been fresher.
Yeah, she seemed like she was pretty ready to believe she was losing her mind.
Yeah.
But I mean, she did spend a long time in a mental hospital before. I don't know. But, when he was trying to communicate with her and stuff, like, she leaned right into, I'm going fucking crazy. You can just see that.
Yeah, oh yeah. After he dies, he starts to communicate with her. He has her phantom write or whatever, spiritual writing, whatever the fuck it's called. He has her write out a message from him that he's still there, and she fucking doesn't believe it.
Yeah, who would?
In the book, I agree. In the book, I think she goes to a medium and tries to contact a spirit, and it fails for some reason, and that's what makes her lose hope, that there's nothing there. There is a kind of slightly veiled. I mean, it's subtle, but there's a subtle thing where it seems like neither of the parents believe in the afterlife while they're alive. There's a scene with a Dalmatian, which is the daughter's dog. And the Dalmatian's in pain. It needs to be put down. And the mother's explaining, she's very matter-of-fact to the girl and everything, that she has to take to the doctor. The doctor's going to kill the dog. It's what needs to happen because the dog's in too much pain and there's nothing that can help it. And she says what will happen to her. And she goes, she'll go where everyone goes. And that can't be a bad thing. She doesn't say
heaven. All
dogs go to heaven. She doesn't. It seems to me to be indicating that she does not believe in an afterlife.
Yeah, they never mention heaven.
Then later, when Robin Williams is talking to his daughter and they're playing chess, and she has this fantastical little scene that she's,
I think it's a music box or something.
Yeah, that she's built or she's whatever she's drawing on and stuff like that. It's this big fantastical scene. She says, do you think that's what heaven's like? And he says, it's a dream. And dreams are nice, but they're not real. And that seems to indicate that Rob Williams also does not believe in heaven.
Do you think he was telling her that heaven's not real when she asked that? Because I thought he was just meant the scene.
I think he means the scene's not real, but I think the implication is he also doesn't think heaven is real.
Maybe.
I think both of these people are not necessarily atheists, but they're just they just don't really believe. Mm-hmm. And then, and then this stuff happens to them, so of course, that's, then they're like, yeah, of course we believe now.
It seems even weird. I mean, I don't know, it seems like to kill yourself and not believe you're going to go to heaven seems not smart.
I think most people that believe in an afterlife think if you kill yourself, you go to hell. which is exactly what happens to her.
I don't believe that.
I know you don't, but I think in her mind, she's thinking nothing happens to her, so what's the fucking point? I want to be out of this pain. I just want it all to go away.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Like, I mean, that's what I'm thinking she was thinking. But anyway, so that's kind of the setup. Robin Williams goes to heaven, and he meets Cuba Gooding Jr., who is this doctor that he used to work with and everything. But spoilers, it's actually his son.
Yeah.
And it takes him a while to figure out that.
It's weird to me that, like, the first thing when he got to heaven, he sees his dog, and he's happy to see the dog, but he's not looking for his kids. Like, I would be looking for the kids immediately.
The kids are a big problem for me in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that happens when, like, if you think about the kids, everything that happens, I think, is like it's a big problem for me. So, agreed. Your kids died when they were very young. You die and go to heaven, and your immediate thought isn't, "Where are my children?"
Yeah.
Hey, I'm in heaven. Sweet. Let me see my kids. Like, it does not seem like this is a love story between these two characters. The mom and the dad, or whatever, the husband and the wife. And the movie very much wants to be about those two.
Yeah. The kids are background.
The kids are like accessories. I never feel any real love or caring for them, with the exception of two scenes that Robin Williams is in, one with the daughter and one with the son, because Robin Williams is such a fucking good actor.
True.
The script doesn't provide it. Robin Williams provides it. Like that feeling. But only through those two scenes, and nothing else that happens in the movie at all.
Well, here's the thing, though, sweetie, is they're not in the movie that much as kids. They're in the movie more in heaven than they are when they're kids and having this relationship with their parents. And it kind of, I think, is showing their parents. And I mean, they didn't have enough time to really create the relationship with their kids.
I agree. I think it takes me a little bit out of the movie. And then, if you want to talk about the ending now, so at the end of the movie, actually, we got to get to.
Yeah, you're skipping over a bunch of stuff now.
So she dies because she kills herself. And she goes to hell. And hell is basically like, it's
lost souls.
Yeah, it's people that don't, like, they don't feel the love of God, they're not like, and they can't, the theme of this movie is hope. Very much so. The theme of this movie is about hope and belief, right? And the people in hell have lost all hope and have no belief. And that's the difference. The difference between her and him, the husband and the wife, he still has hope. He still has belief. He's the positivity. She's the negativity.
And she's mad at him for that, too. Like, she mentions at some point, like, how is it that I'm the only one in here? When she's, had this nervous breakdown after the kids.
Yeah, she's not happy that he's not insane. She thinks he should be insane.
Well, I think she thinks that he's not hurting as much as she is.
Yeah, which is, people hurt in different ways.
Yeah, it's not fair. And like he said, I think he kind of was saying, like, I needed to be strong because one of them needed to be.
Yeah.
If she was falling apart, he couldn't also fall apart.
When she's in the asylum, not asylum, but whatever, the home that she's in, it looks like a very nice place.
Yeah, it's a rich people psych hospital.
Yeah,
with like beautiful outdoor stuff.
But when she's in the psych hospital and everything, and he's talking to her, he's like, "Look, I'm leaving," because apparently she was talking about divorce and stuff like that, and she was like, I just think we're two, which is so funny because they're soulmates.
Right.
I just think we're two different people or whatever and everything. And so then he says, this is later scene, but he says to her, look, me hanging around here is not helping you. It's only making it worse. Like right when he died and he was hanging around her,
yeah,
which was also making it worse. He was like, so I've got to go. I have to, let you go. So this is a one-way ticket for me. I'm leaving. This is the divorce decision day. They call it Double D Day.
So weird that they then choose to celebrate it like a fucking anniversary later.
Well, it's because she chose hope.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it was like a really bad day. It was with a good ending, but I just don't think I'd celebrate that.
so he's like, basically like, hey, I'm leaving and we'll get divorced because I'm not helping with you. And he said, I understand why you're so angry at me because I couldn't be with you.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't, like, it wasn't that the kids died and you were so sad. It's that I couldn't also, like, I didn't give
She
myself
felt abandoned.
to this despair too, right? So then she rips up the ticket and they hug and whatever and they stay together. So basically he finds out from his son that she killed herself and she's in hell.
And at first, he doesn't know it's his son yet, and it's Cuba Gooding Jr. telling him, he's like, well, when can I see her? He's like, never. You can't see her. It's amazing to me, because we as the audience didn't know yet that that's his son. And that he was able to have that conversation with his dad in a way that he's like, I'm just going to be here for you. This is hard news. You're not alone. Like, that's his mom. Like, he should be having a lot of problem with what is going on, too.
Well, he's been dead for a while. Mm-hmm. He probably was having a hard time, too.
Yeah.
He's been dead for a while, and I think he's probably gotten more used to how things go. It's said that they have jobs in heaven. Like, they do things. They help other people and stuff, which is actually super nice.
Yeah.
But she, like, his daughter helps rehabilitate animals and helps bring animals into the afterlife and stuff like that, which is nice because she lost her dog, so that makes sense. And he helps lost souls, like his dad was, come to the light, basically. Mm-hmm. So he's like an angel of death kind of sort of thing, where he's like a guide to get people to the other side, which is also really nice.
Yeah, like you'd think that it was just for his dad, but it's not. It's like what he does.
Yeah. So I think that experience probably helps him with that. But so they go to Max von Sydow. They go to the Exorcist's own Max von Sydow, Castle Rock's own. Remember Needful Things? We didn't. I don't think we. I don't think we watched Needful Things.
No, I've never seen Needful Things.
It's a shitty movie, but very good book. But anyway, so he was Leland Gaunt in that. Sorry. So he Ed Harris was in it. You don't remember?
No, I don't. I didn't see it.
I think Bonnie Bedelia was in it too, I believe.
Okay.
If I keep throwing names,
it's not going to make me remember a movie I haven't seen.
Are you sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Yeah, it sucked. Anyway, so anyway, Max von Sydow says, yeah, we can totally fucking do it.
Okay, you're all distracted. Do what now?
To get to hell.
There you go.
To go get her.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a tracker, and he's going to help find the wife.
He doesn't do any tracking, though.
He does not.
All he's like is, hey, think about her.
Yeah, well, because they're soulmates, so he's supposed to be like getting a feeling or a signal that will lead him to her. But he figures out that Cuba Gooding Jr. is his son, and he's so distracted by that he's not finding her, so he has to leave him behind so that he can find her.
Very convenient that he has to leave him behind, too, because then it makes his stupid decision later in the movie much easier. Well, because he doesn't have to look his son in the face and be like, you know what, son? I'd rather fucking be in hell with her than be with you.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about how that would feel for his kids, but yeah. I think that's incredible acting on his part, though, when he finds her.
100%. Both of them.
Yeah.
This whole scene is
amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I was crying the whole time.
But yeah, he finds her in like a weird dystopian version of their house. Mm-hmm. And she thinks
confused.
She thinks she's alive. She doesn't understand what's going on.
She's so sad and confused. She's like, there's no gas or electricity or water, and I'm missing things, my art. And it's just like, God, yeah, that is what hell would be like, isn't it? Like, everything that she cares about is not there.
Yep. And so
my books, like everything.
So he tries to get through to her, and he can't. So he comes back out to Max von Sydow, who is like, in actuality, this doctor that he...
was like a father to him.
Yeah. So he says to him, hey, you were in there for a long time. He's like, because the whole danger, you can't die because you're already dead. So the whole danger of hell is essentially being sucked into hell to your mind, like losing your mind, essentially, like your mind being warped into thinking like
that it's real and hell becomes your reality.
Yeah, and it's like the hope being drained from you, essentially, which makes sense as a thing that would happen if you go to hell, like the hope's all drained out of your body. So he says to he says to Max von Sydow, okay, so yeah, I felt it was going to happen. He's like, but I'm going back in there. He's like, I would rather be in hell with her than be in heaven.
See, and I don't think that it's necessarily he'd rather be with her. I think it's guilt. I think he doesn't want to abandon her again.
Yeah.
He wants to be with her.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely juxtaposition to when she was alive, him not going crazy with her, and now, like, he's like, I'm not going to do that again. And he basically says that to her. He's like, I'm staying with you. I'm going to join you or whatever.
And then you can just see like everything just leaving him, and he's becoming like her. But somehow that pulls her out of it, and then
because his sacrifice gives her hope back.
Yeah, and so then they're able to go to heaven together. That seemed weird and not. It didn't seem like the way it should have gone.
And I think that's part of my problem. The first two acts of the movie, I think, are fantastic. The last act has some very great scenes. Like I said, my favorite scene in the movie is that scene of them interacting together and the acting in that scene. But I think there are things wrong with the third act of the movie. And I think that's where the movie loses me a little bit. The ending didn't hit quite for me.
I kind of thought that it wasn't even real at one. Like, I don't know. I
was thinking that too, because it's all too easy.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem. She comes out of it, and like he's all drowning and whatever, and she's like, oh, come back to me, Christy, or whatever. And they close their eyes, and then they're in heaven. No, I need to see. I know it makes the movie longer. I need to see them fight their way out of hell.
Yeah.
Like when they opened their eyes, I thought to myself, okay, are they just making hell heaven for themselves? Like, are they still in hell?
Right. Yeah. It just seemed really off.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's all happy and, we're with our kids now and the dog.
She wants to see the kids right away.
Yeah.
And she gets to see her kids right away.
Yeah. Well, like his son said when he asked, when do I get to see my kids? He's like, when do you want to? So, like, it seemed like maybe there was some stuff he was working through. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
But then they decide to go back together again. I didn't like that at all.
No.
I mean, he fought so hard to get her to heaven. Why would you risk it? Who's to say she's not going to kill herself again? She's a soul. It's the same soul. So she could easily give in to, despair and lose hope and kill herself.
And it's heaven. What the fuck you want to come back here for? Like,
oh, it's just fun to go find you on Earth again? Like,
and you've got your kids back, and
stay.
Yeah, what the fuck? And then they make it so convenient at the end too. He's like, they're talking. The kids aren't even in this fucking scene. That's what makes it so infuriating. And he's like, what about reincarnation? The kids are okay with it. I talked to them. Like a lifetime on Earth's like a snap of the fingers here. So it's cool. They'll just be happy with us when we come back here.
See, and I don't get that either, because it seemed like a lot of time had passed for his kids.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even but 4 years since they died. But, a lifetime here is just a snap all of a sudden now?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. That's incongruent with what we've learned before, because it seems like time passes almost the same, basically. But yeah, I just it. The whole thing rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
The kids feel so much like an afterthought.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess they have to have the kids in the story so that there's more tragedy.
Well, yeah.
But because it's unbelievable if she just kills herself because,
Well, no, but I mean, I think it shows everything they went through together, too. Like, they had to go through tragedy together.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, but I don't like the way the kids are treated in the movie.
No, and the little girl, this made me really sad for her. They're disguising themselves from their dad, and she looks like some Asian stewardess that he thought was hot. And he was talking about how great Asian women are.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked up. That should not be like, oh, now it's afterlife and this is what I'm going to look like because my daddy thinks it's perfect. Like, there are some major issues here.
Oh, no shit.
I did not like that at all.
It doesn't help that the little girl they got looks kind of like a little boy. No offense to the little actress, but she's got a very short haircut, and it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You're a beautiful little actress. You are.
I just really don't like what they did there. There's no reason for her to make herself attractive to her father.
Yeah, that's fucked up. The whole thing's fucked up.
So.
But yeah, so like I said, I think those problems that I have with the third act of the movie are enough to where, and that's the last thing that leaves you, you know. So I'm not a movie absolutist where like every part of the movie has to be good for me to like it. I still liked the movie. Mm-hmm. I still recommend the movie. But it just like so much about the movie worked so well.
Yeah.
For 2/3 of the movie. I really wanted it to just bring me over that emotional finish line and be one of the best movies ever made. Because 2/3 of the way in, it was trending to being one of the best movies ever made. Like, visually spectacular, fantastic acting. They had everything on their side. And I think, like I said, the script just fails them a little bit in that last part.
It's kind of like when you're eating something delicious, but then it has a bad aftertaste.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
That's this movie. Bad aftertaste. What dreams may come? Bad aftertaste.
Because it doesn't leave you feeling good. Even though it's a happy ending, you don't feel good about it.
And that's the thing. I think that's a big part of it too. There's so much tragedy. There needs to be a balance. There's so much tragedy in the movie. The fucking dog's dying.
Right.
The kids are dying. He's dying. She's killing herself. This whole fucking family's been destroyed. Like, it's so much tragedy. The ending has to be that much happier.
Yeah.
The more tragedy you build up throughout the film, you have to raise the happiness level. And this ending is not satisfying enough. Oh, we'll just go back to Earth and do it again. Like, it's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
You're hitting the reset button on everything that just happened.
Yeah, I don't like it. And then they find each other as little kids, and it's like, I didn't like that either.
Yeah, those you guys are just going to be together for so everything's going to work out perfectly for you then? Like, I mean, like that doesn't make any sense either. Like,
yeah.
They should have found each other when they were old. Should have found each other when they were like 90.
That would be funny.
They both had like fucking families before that, and like they see each other in a nursing home.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good movie, but
yeah, it's just the third act problems.
Yeah.
That's my my diagnosis of the film, but still worth it. I think still worth seeing. It just has some problems.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell them what dreams may come for them.
So you can write us at latefee1994@aol.com.
Yep.
Feel free to check out that Patreon if you want to hear the extra stuff we've made.
Patreon.com. And we're the only ones on there, so you'll find us, Retro Late Fee.
And you can write us at latefee1994@aol.com.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.